Good morning, everyone. Welcome back. I'm back from break, ready for a fun and full week of streaming. This is final week before the huge Shadow of the Erdtree DLC. I got a few things to talk about today, including Phil's day off and some game news, but for the most part, it'll be a more laid-back stream, which is good because last week we had a lot of weird streams, abridged ones because of all those game shows. Thankfully, they're all over, and we have a better idea of what to expect in this gaming year. So we'll have discussion on all of this and more on today's episode of the Level 1 Podcast. Alrighty, everybody. Welcome back. Welcome to the show. Today is Friday, the 14th of June, 2024. So we are just roughly halfway through the month. Summer is almost here. That's right. You may not realize it, but only in about a week, summertime has hit here in the United States. At least if you're in the Northern Hemisphere, you should be in the same boat as me. Things are heating up, although it actually hasn't been too warm around here recently. It looks like next week we have forecasted some pretty warm weather coming up. But as for games, right, this is essentially the final week until we start hitting some pretty interesting stuff. This coming Tuesday, we've got Still Wakes the Deep, brand new horror game. I think it's survival horror. First person. Certainly seems like it has a creepy atmosphere and some scary stuff in it. Game Pass release, by the way. A week from today exactly is the release of the Shadow of the Erdtree expansion for Elden Ring, which, of course, everyone is super excited for. One and only expansion for Elden Ring, 2 years out from its original release. Supposed to be very lengthy, very interesting, and probably quite good. So I'm excited for that. I think everyone is. That's like the big thing everyone's waiting to hit to see me play. And of course, just a little after that, on the 26th of June, we've got the release of M. Bison in Street Fighter 6, which of course everyone's excited for as well, who likes fighting games. So 3 big things, boom, 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 all within like 1 week's time. Pretty crazy overload, right? And that's just what happens. If you remember, sadly, everything has to come out at once. There's no possible way that any of these game companies could space out like their releases, right? Like that wouldn't make any sense. You want everything at once so that way no one could possibly play it all at once. And everyone's disappointed, right? I mean, we've only talked about this forever. Doesn't it seem like they do this? They all cluster their releases together. And then it's like, okay, so how am I supposed to play all of this exactly? Thankfully for me, I'm a variety streamer. So I'll be juggling all of this stuff on and off. Of course, this does mean that the current kind of ongoing chill playthroughs that I'm doing will have to go somewhat on either hold or hiatus or just be reduced in a big way how much I play them, which does suck in some regards because, for example, the Fallout 4 playthrough has been amazing. But the good news is, if you are a fan of Fallout 4, this is your week. All right? Why? Because I am playing Fallout 4 a ton in this next week to make up for the fact that once Tuesday hits, we're probably not playing it regularly for a while. So expect it in 3 major streams. I mean, that's almost 10 hours of progress in the game. We've already begun with the Far Harbor DLC. I'm thinking if we just kind of focus on it, we might beat it within a couple of streams and then be able to move on to something else until the inevitable kind of little bit of scaling back, right? So I hope you'll be along the ride for that. It's been a great run these last 45 to 6 or some hours that I've been playing the game. And I like the fact that somehow we stumbled into another Bethesda playthrough this year, even though it wasn't intended, right? Remember when we were playing, excuse me, Baldur's Gate 3, we were just like, yeah, you know, this will be the lengthy RPG for the year, I guess, even though previously every year it had been a Bethesda RPG. If you remember, we started with Fallout New Vegas, then it was Skyrim, and then last year it was Oblivion. So we thought, you know, because we're doing Baldur's Gate, that'll be it. That'll trump it for this year. But then all of a sudden, Fallout TV show comes out, and everyone wants Fallout content again, and there you go, right? So anyway, good week coming up. All right, I'm feeling good about the nice vibe for the week is more laid back, relaxed, and let's get nice into these chill things before we get into the big, major, meaty new stuff starting on Tuesday. Okay? Anyway, as you know, yesterday was my day off. What I'd like to do is just briefly recap a little bit from Wednesday and then talk about my day off yesterday, and then we'll get into the schedule. I have some news stories to cover today from my day off, and then we will, get into the usual Q&A or whatever it may be, shoutouts, etc. Okay? So, FYI, on Wednesday night, I played with Dalsim in Street Fighter 6, and even though I felt like I did poorly, apparently the statistics speak otherwise, which I didn't realize. The people who were tracking my matches actually sent me like an email after and were like, hey, listen, don't be so hard on yourself. It's not as bad as you think, all right? So when I played with Dalsim on Wednesday night, basically a lot of things were not going my way. Let's put it that way. I think that there's really two reasons why. Reason number one is because just in general, Dalsim is a character that if you play him very well, you can completely lock out the opponent. They cannot get in on you. You keep them at that mid to long range. They get zoned by fireballs and limbs. And no matter what they try, right, they can't really break that wall of defense. That's ideally how you want to play Dalsim. And every once in a while, go for that counter hit into a combo or teleport behind mix-up into a combo, right? That's what you're going for. That's what you're looking for. And for the most part, when I get it going, it's really entertaining, I would say, to watch. Like, damn, they can knock it in. They try so hard, just like crazy good. The problem is if you make that one mistake, or if you just have that one really bad luck moment, right? Oh, I did standing roundhouse, and it just so happened that on fight the person guessed, and they decided to jump forward, and it went over the roundhouse, right? Now they get a giant combo to start the round. Now they're in an advantageous position to push Dalsim to the corner, which is exactly where he doesn't want to be. And now basically they have an insanely huge chance to win the game. Sucks. But that's what happens with Dalsim. It's like either play perfectly and then win, or either by bad luck or one mistake, lose. And I think that's one of the reasons why it gets me heated when I play with him. It's not that, I don't like the character. I do. I actually love Dalsim in this game. I think he's pretty awesome. But he's such a risk-reward character. Meaning, every time you pick him on the select screen, that's a huge risk. Because you realize that about him. There's very rarely when you're going to be like coming back with Dalsim, or if you do, you have to play so patiently and perfectly, and it's really rough, okay? The other thing is that now I know I don't have any input delay in the game anymore. I have done everything possible on console to get the best experience. I'm playing at 120 hertz, variable refresh rate. I've all but eliminated input delay from my console, okay? So it's not that anymore. When I'm doing a move or I'm doing something and it either doesn't come out or it drops or does a different move, it's definitely not input delay anymore. That factor has been eliminated. Now, in some cases, it could be Netcode, because Netcode is not perfect. I will say this, since I've eliminated the input lag, playing this game online, with the exception of sometimes when you could see the connection actually fluctuating, the game's been pretty flawless. I'm going to repeat that. The game's been pretty flawless online. And so, I feel bad because for an entire year, I played Street Fighter 6, raging about the netcode and how frustrated I was about rollback netcode. In truth, it wasn't the netcode, it was the input delay that was the problem all along. And now that that problem's been solved, I really have no complaints about the netcode or any kind of control issue. I think for the most part, the game is damn good, And so I have to apologize to whoever is actually responsible for the netcode of Street Fighter 6. I don't know who actually designed the netcode that Capcom is using. I'm sure it's some crazy generation, of netcode that they've been using. It's actually good. All right. And so I'm one who, once I see a situation and I see the error of my ways, I'm willing to admit that I was wrong. I absolutely was wrong about the netcode of Street Fighter 6. Okay. My fault. Okay. It's good. Now, the thing is, if you're just playing vanilla on console, you're not going to have a good experience. You actually have to turn off the input delay, in which case you get screen tearing and all these issues. So the one thing that's frustrating is to really play Street Fighter 6 at a good competitive level, you need to have all these factors. You need to have a great TV. You need to have a capture device that will support these great features, or else the game will be awful online with big input delay. But that's neither here nor there, all right? So knowing now okay, that it's not the input delay, and likely it's not always the netcode. It could be the netcode every once in a while dropping an input. That does happen. But from what I'm seeing, it's not really happening often. I'm gonna fess up and I'm gonna be honest, I think it's me. And that's frustrating. Okay? It's frustrating to know that you are the reason why you're having issues playing the game. Okay? So when I'm doing a drive impact and I counter hit the enemy perfectly, and I say, all right, time for a giant punish combo with Dalsim, down back fierce punch, and I get down forward fierce punch, and now I can't do my combo. And I'm like, ugh. This is very frustrating, right? Or when I'm doing basic things, like a standard combo with 2 back medium kicks, and I get 1 back medium kick, standing medium kick, combo ends. What happened, right? And this is happening a lot. It really was. When I was playing the game on Wednesday night, here I am in situations where I can win matches. All I need to do is complete my basic moves and combos. And I'm getting the wrong directional inputs, and I'm dropping moves in the middle of a combo. And again, you got to be careful here with Dalsim. If you make one wrong move with Dalsim and you lose that momentum, you can throw away the whole round. Sometimes you could throw away the whole game. Because again, if they get lucky once a round, they could take more than half your health bar, and now you're in the corner and you can't get out because you're Dalsim, right? So it's frustrating, and I'll be honest, I really got frustrated on Wednesday night with myself, and that's what led to me getting angry. I wasn't in general angry about the game, as you saw. I'm not going to complain about the online connection. I don't think the online connections were the problem, but it disheartened me. That's the best word for it. It disheartened me. When I want to play better, I want to get better at this game, correct? And now I've done as much as I could to eliminate all of the factors, right, that are going on that are causing me to lose. And yet I still lose. It really upsets me. Like, damn, I want to get better. And I even had this conversation at the end of the stream on Wednesday night. I was like, I really feel like the reason now that I'm going to start having challenges is because I just don't get to play enough. You know, I play Street Fighter 6 2 to 3 times a week tops, which is what, 6 to 7 hours of gameplay. That's nothing. That's like a drop in an ocean compared to how much these people are playing this game. People who have stuck around with Street Fighter 6 for a year, dude, these people are putting in an intense amount of time into the game. Really. So it sucks because I really want to get better, but I feel like with the amount of time that I play the game, I don't know if I will be able to. Case in point, I was playing against a Chun-Li. That Chun-Li knew the Dalsim match at every moment. If I'm mid-screen, I throw a fireball, flip over it. If I'm in the corner, know the perfect spacing to hit the limb or jump over and do this mix-up, do that. I was like, damn, she teleport, jab into legs, juggle. I was like, dude, you completely memorized this matchup. She knows every aspect of it. So now, again, I got to play perfect because if I make one mistake, she's going to punish everything I do. Every little miscalculation is going to be maximum reward for her. And it's like, how the fuck did you get that good? Because he played all year. They literally play the game nonstop for a fucking year, you know? So, really frustrating. And the thing is, I'm not giving up. I know I want to get better, right? I do. I want to focus on this. I want to get better. And there's not much that I can really do but just play more and not get to the level of frustration that I'm getting at in certain cases. You know, I didn't get to that level of frustration playing with Honda. Obviously playing with Brian, I got like no frustration, right? It's just a matter of keeping my cool and trying to learn. The good news is I learned. I'm learning stuff every single time I play now. And that's the key. Even if you lose, as long as you learn when you lose, it's a productive session. And that's what I tell everyone is don't worry about losing a million times as long as you're actually learning something. I'm learning things about matchups now. I'm learning very important things that I need to know in order to make progress in this game and get better. So I'm happy with that I am learning matchups and things. But at the same time, it frustrates me that I can't get the wins, right? So here's the stats. I started off in casual play, and I got 14 wins and 13 losses. So essentially, I broke even. And then I went to ranked, and I got 15 wins and 17 losses. So essentially, I broke even. So overall, for the whole night, all right, I had 29 wins and 30 losses. I lost one more time than I won. So it is a losing night, but it's very close. So, you know, reading that back, those stats, I'm like, okay, I'm not that mad anymore. You know, I'm not that upset. I was very disheartened thinking, man, I sucked on Wednesday night. And then when I actually heard the stats, I was like, oh, actually, that actually wasn't that bad. So no problem, right? But now I need to do better. I need to start playing better, and I feel like that's not going to happen unless I play more. But the problem is I can't play more because there's variety of stuff coming up. Like when Elden Ring comes out. Are you kidding me? That's all anyone's going to want. That's like a 30 to 40 hour DLC, and there's going to be constant demand for Elden Ring. So I'm going to be playing that a whole day when it comes out, and then I'm going to be playing it as day streams most days, you know? So that, Street Fighter 6 will be delegated to nights, but some nights now I'm going to want to balance with other stuff that I'm not doing as day streams anymore, right? Every once in a while, people are going to want Fallout. I'm going to be playing Still Wakes the Deep. We don't want that to go by the wayside. So, challenging, right? It is. It's challenging, and it's annoying. I just don't even know what the solution is. It's like, if I play more Street Fighter, I can't play more of other stuff you guys want, and undoubtedly those who don't necessarily love Street Fighter are going to be upset I'm playing too much, but if I don't play more, then I don't know how I can get better, right? Like, for example, the ideal thing to do here would be like, okay, so for this next week, I'm only playing with Dalsim. I'm just going to pick Dalsim every stream for the next three streams, play ranked, get better. But then people will say, yeah, but what about your other characters? And it's boring to see the same character all the time, right? So now it's like, oh, so I play the other character. Oh, I haven't used this character in like a week and a half, 2 weeks, right? So now it's like brushing the cobwebs off. We're starting from scratch again, right? That's what it feels like. Anyway, so I apologize to those who got frustrated with me getting frustrated on Wednesday night, because I absolutely did, because I was losing and I couldn't explain why. And now when I look back at it, because I watched back the matches, and I'm like, most of the time, these are definitely mistakes I'm making. Like, maybe once or twice, like, I don't know why that happened. Like, I can't imagine why I would have completely pushed the wrong button or wrong input. But in other cases, like, yeah, you can see I dropped it. I dropped a combo. Oops. Why did I press that button when it was unsafe? And sometimes it is luck. Sometimes people can just jump forward on Dalsim and get lucky and get a giant combo out of it. But for the most part, it's me making mistakes and fumbling the ball, as they say, right? So I'm going to get better, all right? But I would ask for your patience and to understand why there might be nights when I play poorly, or why I need to regroup and calm down, But at the very least, I'm not sitting here frustrated, punching my joystick and swearing like a sailor and doing what I was doing when I had the input delay. Because let me tell you, that input delay causing me to lose was the most frustrating thing possible. That's like, I know I can play better than this, and the game just won't give me my move. It's so delayed. And now that I've eliminated that, you can see I'm counter drive impacting. I'm breaking throws. It's like, holy shit, I can't believe it, right? I'm actually doing things that everyone else has been doing all along. I can do it now. So, anyway, FYI, tonight, I'm either going to use Lily or Zangief. I'm on the fence. Like, I was really thinking about Lily, and I watched a top Lily play. I saw one or two things I may or may not try tonight. But for the most part, I could play with Zangief too. I don't see the problem with that. Zangief's a much better character now, and the more I play with him, the better I'll get, right? So, think about it. And tonight we'll have to decide, but it's one of those two characters for tonight, okay? All right, so anyway, that was Wednesday night. Frustrated with Dalsim. That luckily it wasn't as bad as I thought, and I am looking to get better, obviously. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, yesterday was my day off, and so let's DSP news it. No, yesterday was my day off, and of course, people always want to know what happened on your day off. Well, a couple things to talk about. First of all, yesterday was going to be a very busy day because it was the day when my wife and I was going out to do all of these different appointments and things that we had all lined up for one day, right? When we have these days where we have to do all this shit, we're like, okay, we're going out and, gotta focus on what we're doing and get a bunch of stuff done while we can do it. So we went out, and the good news is, well, first of all, we had a very, very early breakfast because we needed to have a very early breakfast because we had so much stuff to do in the afternoon appointment-wise. We were jumping from place to place to place. So, early breakfast, get ready, head out, go do all of our appointments, which took a couple hours, I would say, a few hours. And then we came back and we went to the a grocery store, all right, to do our usual grocery shopping. And then we come home and unpacking the bags. All of a sudden, my wife is feeling sick. And I'm like, this sucks because we got all the shit done that, like, is the busy work shit. The stuff that is the more tedious stuff. And we were just about to head out and do the more fun stuff. Let's go look around for stuff. You know, let's look for, you know, my wife needs some new shoes. So we're going to do some shoe shopping together. You know, go to a pet store, look at some cute animals and stuff together. You know, the fun stuff. She's just feeling really ill. And I'm like, this sucks. And then she like toughs up. She's like, no, I'm going to go out. I was like, honey, like just a few minutes ago, you were barely able to stand. Like you were going to pass out. You said you felt so faint-headed and sick. I was like, we can't go out now. So, so basically, she stayed home, which sucked because we didn't want to. But she stayed home, and I had to go out and finish the second half of the day, which included doing an entire run at Costco by myself. And this was a big one. This was like a giant restocking of the house. We were literally out of every possible thing that you would stock up at Costco, you know? So I had to go and buy all the cleaning supplies and materials, paper products, clothes, a laundry detergent, you know, every possible thing that you buy in bulk. You save a lot of money at Costco. So I had to do all that myself. And then after that, I had to run to like the pet store and a few other things. I got everything done. So I'm rushing home because now, here's the thing. We ate so early that we thought we were going to be out. We'll get an early dinner or whatever together. But now Kat's at home, right? And I'm out doing all the errands and shit, trying to finish. And I'm trying to rush and hurry home so we can order some food because we have to at this point because, you know, she's sick. So let's get home. So I get home. So what do you want to do? And we had two options. Thai food or Mediterranean food, because neither of those had we eaten in a while, okay? And so we're looking at it and we're like, well, you know, we haven't had the Thai food in many months. And the last time that we ordered from this Thai place, it was really, really good. We got this cashew chicken noodles, which is super tasty. It's like sweet, but has a little bit of savoriness to it. You know, I love cashews. And last time we got it, it was like absolutely really good. But, you know, the Thai food, they have spice levels. And we had ordered a 1 and a 2 last time. And both of us tried each other's and we're like, man, it's kind of mild. So maybe next time we'll even kick it up a notch. So this time, I'm like, what should we get? We're like, well, my wife's not feeling that great. So why don't we just get 2, which we did last time, which we felt was mild, right? And then you know, there we go. So we ordered the food. The good news is the food arrives right away and I'm starving. Like, I'm super hungry because we had eaten breakfast early. So I'm so hungry. And we open it up and we start to eat it. And immediately we're like, what the fuck? We start drinking. What the hell? Dude, my eyes start watering. My nose starts running. And my blood pressure goes up. I'm sweating. I was like, what the fuck? And we're trying to eat it. It is the spiciest fucking Asian food I've ever eaten in my life. There is no way that was spice level 2. That had to be like maximum spice or maybe like one step below maximum spice. We were like, that is the hottest fucking food. And the thing is, you eat it, you could taste the flavors. The flavors are good, but then it's just so burning on your tongue, you can't fucking eat it. Oh my God, what the? They fucked it up. There's no way that's spice level 2. We had ordered from them before and done spice level 2, and it wasn't that hot. So, you know, basically, we're like, what are we going to do? I said, well, we got to get more food, but we can't eat this. So I contacted the app. I explained the situation. They forced me to take a picture, and they gave me credit. They said, okay, here's your credit back. Order again. So we did. So we actually ordered the Mediterranean food instead. All right. But the thing was, I was so hungry because I really was so hungry. I was like, I got to eat some of this. If I don't eat this now, I'm going to get like a stomach ache because I'm so hungry. So I start eating the spicy food. That was the worst fucking choice, man. I don't know. I mean, but I was so hungry, I couldn't control myself at this point. The flavor was good, but the spice was insane. Okay? So, basically, I eat this, and then it was a really bad choice. It was a very, very bad choice. Because, number one, my stomach felt awful for the rest of the night. That was number one. And then number two, as you know, when you eat ultra spicy food, and then when you go to, well, when, you know, your body's done with it, you can get a second helping of pain. And man, I had a second and third helping of pain that night. I was really not doing well. Even though I was in bed ready to go to sleep, and I had to run to the bathroom again before I went to sleep. So that sucked. Now, outside of the food debacle, if you can believe it, just listen to this. Kat has been looking for a game to play. And right now, she says the next game that she's looking at that's making her look like she's interested in it is possibly Star Wars Outlaws. Like, that's the one she's eyeballing as the next game she personally wants to play. Outside of that, there's like nothing going on. And so she has been looking for something to play that's free rather than drop a lot of money, because she's already bought a couple games this year that burned her. Like, the last one was Dragon's Dogma 2. And she's really upset about that because she bought it. And she played it way more than me. She played Dragon's Dogma 2 like 30, 40 hours. She got so bored she couldn't play it anymore. She's like, this game is fucking atrociously boring. There was a bunch of bugs for her. Like, she got into situations where there were NPCs were supposed to be somewhere for a quest and they just weren't in the game. Inexplicably, they just weren't in the game at all. Like, what? So she quit the game. And she's like, she just doesn't want to buy any games right now. She's not convinced that buying any games are going to be in her interest, but she has Game Pass, so she's been looking for a new Game Pass game to play. She stopped playing Mass Effect Andromeda. She got a certain distance in the game, and then she got fucking bored of it and didn't want to play it anymore. So of all things, the game she has chosen to try certainly didn't, my God, certainly didn't expect this in any way, shape, or form. All right, you ready? She's playing Destiny 2. All right? Now, however, I should emphasize something. Destiny 2 2024, from what I can see, is a dramatically different game from Destiny 2 when I played it as a new release. If you remember, I played it as a new release on PS4. And this was many, many years ago. And I actually played it as a co-op playthrough with a couple of people to try to make it palatable, because I played Destiny 1 solo and I thought it sucked. I thought it was such a boring grind. I didn't understand why people liked it so much. So I actually played Destiny 2 co-op to see if it would be better. Looks like this is in the wrong position. Look at that. And the answer is Destiny 2 better co-op than solo? No, it wasn't. Like, Destiny 2, I felt like the story was boring and terrible. I felt like the gameplay was just the same gameplay loop, boring over and over. There wasn't enough original stuff in the game. The loot was kind of just arbitrarily there. It didn't really improve the game or anything. Like I said, as I said with Destiny 1, it's literally Halo combined with Borderlands. And there's nothing to it. It's just, there's no substance there. It's all just repetitive grind, right? So for people who like repetitive grind with friends, there you go. It's great. But for those who are looking for like a solid gaming experience with a good story and everything, it didn't have it, all right? But that was at launch. So she started playing Destiny 2. First of all, she's playing it on the Xbox Series S. This game looks ridiculously good on the Xbox Series S. This might be the best performing game on the console. It runs an incredibly solid 60 frames per second at 1080p. The graphics are very detailed. The effects are amazing. Like, when she's playing this game, I was like, dude, it looks like Doom, or, you know, it looks like a high-end FPS on the Series S. I was very impressed with how it performed on there. Like, damn, that's, like, actually really, really good. Okay? Now, she starts playing it, and immediately, there's all these story elements in it. Like, there's a story opening. Here's 5 stories you could play right now. And so she just picked one. I think she might have picked the most recent one. I'm not sure, because I don't know. I've played this game since it launched. So she picked one of the stories to play. And she starts playing it. There's all these cool story elements, cool cutscenes, new enemy types. She's immediately finding new weapons and things. And I'm like, what is this? Like, this is, like, good. Like, I'm watching her play. I'm like, this is pretty good, actually. Like, this is interesting to me. And she played through this giant part of the game. Where there was like this special new boss and stuff. She got to a new planet, and there was a new race of people that she's meeting now and doing stuff with. And I was like, wow, this is like a game. Like, unlike Destiny 2 when I played it, which was choppy, repetitive, boring, and the story was atrociously bad, this is like interesting. Like, they put effort into this. And it's funny because a lot of people had told me, yeah, over the years, basically Destiny 2 has changed. When they left from being under the thumb of, who was it that owned them? I forget who actually owned Bungie at one point. Was it Activision Blizzard? I can't remember who owned them. But whoever they were owned by, supposedly their complaint was they could never really do what they wanted to do because they were always being told what to do because they were owned, so they had to do what they were told. Hide it behind this paywall, do this microtransaction. No, you can't give them this content because of this, do this instead, right? It was Activision? Okay. So, basically, yeah. And so because of that, supposedly, the game wasn't as good. And apparently, after they got out of that controlling atmosphere, they improved Destiny 2 a lot, and the game ended up being way better. But what I can see is that the game is way better. Like, now listen, it's still a first-person shooter. It still plays like Halo, all right? There are different improvements now, different weapons and classes and things you can do. But from what I'm seeing, the story is much better. Like, the story is interesting. You're doing these things, nice cutscenes, good narrative elements. There's still an element, like, if you try to play some of the core game stuff, it's still kind of weird. Like, it feels like very disconnected, disjointed MMO shit. Go to this planet and kill a bunch of random enemies, trade in the items you got off the enemies to some random NPC, and he gives you a bunch of loot. Then leave that planet and go somewhere else, do a little bit of, like, platforming, fight a boss, then go back to another planet, talk to the leader, then go to this planet and fight a bunch of enemies, like captains or something. It's like, what? Like, what is this? It's, like, not even connected. Like, why are we doing this? It's very weird in that regard, right? But all the DLCs and things, I guess, for the game have free elements. Like, you have to buy the DLC to get the full content, but if you don't buy it, there's still free stuff. Like, the free story is in there. So Kat hasn't spent $1 on this game, right? And she's actually starting to play it. And she's like, I really like this is good. She's getting hooked on it. And I was like, I don't blame you. I'm looking at it, and I'm actually impressed with how good the game looks, plays, and that the story elements are actually pretty interesting. So here's an example of a game where it started bland and boring and felt unfinished and choppy and just play for the sake of playing with your buddies. And it looks like they've actually transformed it into something that you could actually enjoy even if you're playing solo due to all of its improvements. So that's a good thing. By the way, not that you always play solo, because there's some missions you have to play with people, but it's fine. Like, she played a few missions just with randoms, teaming up randomly and playing, and it seemed to work fine. The online connectivity seems good, right? So I'm impressed, honestly. I'm legitimately impressed. I didn't realize that Destiny 2 had that many improvements. And that's the kind of thing that, like, I would never know, because you guys have never asked me to go back to it, right? After I played it at launch and I did the full playthrough of the campaign, you guys literally not once have said, hey, Phil, go back to Destiny 2. Every once in a while, people joke about it. Hey, Phil, you going to play the new DLC? I'm like, what? Of course I'm not going to play the new DLC, right? And what's funny, I think I own it digitally. So if I wanted to, I could play this on PS5. And can you imagine how the game probably runs on PS5? Probably gorgeous, right? I wonder if it runs at a high frame rate. Like, can you do 120 frames, or can you at least do 120 hertz? I wonder. I'm just curious, because I haven't done a first-person shooter yet since I improved my setup. I'm wondering what the game would look like. But by the way, no, I'm not doing it now. This would not be the time for it with all the new stuff coming out next week. But I was just like, wow, the game is good. So I'll just tell you this, guys, and this is just me being honest. I guess some games, they do redeem themselves over time. I mean, we've seen it with games like Rainbow Six Siege, Final Fantasy 14. To me, Destiny 2 today looks like a complete entertaining product. It wasn't at launch, but now it looks good. So, hey, it's only like, 7 years in or whatever? I think it is, right? It's like insanely long into its life cycle. Maybe now, if you play it, you'll have a good time with it. All right. So anyway, that was pretty much my day off. It was doing stuff with my wife in the morning, getting to the point where we were going to go do fun stuff, but then she got sick. So then I went out by myself to do the rest of the shit. And then we came home and I ate insanely spicy food and ended up in a lot of pain and suffering for the rest of the night. But I got to watch my wife play some Destiny 2. Oh, and we watched some more BattleBots as well. The BattleBot show that we've been telling you about, we love it. We're addicted to it. We're going to keep watching. There's like 6 seasons on Max. We're probably going to watch them all because we're having a great time with it. Oh, yeah, one more thing. I have seen the 3 episodes of The Boys Season 4 that are available on Prime Video. I've seen them. Okay? Now, I'm sure you want my opinion on this. Well, first of all, if I'm going to give you my opinion on it, I'm not going to do it in a format where I'm going to do it here on the podcast. I decided if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do like a review night. All right. The problem is, do I even have time for a review night in this next coming week with all the stuff going on? Well, maybe I do. All right. However, I'm really torn about this. And if you don't know, all right, if you're wondering why I'm torn about this season, season 4, is incredibly political. You can tell the whole season is incredibly political and is meant to capitalize on currently what is going on in the United States with politics and the upcoming election. It is 100% written that way. All right. I mean, half of the plot line is about, an election and how these superheroes are tying into it. There's supposed to be far right groups that are very, very conspiratorial, cringy, fringe-worthy stuff. Okay. And at the same time, there's also like very leftist groups, but in the show, they're being portrayed in a certain way that, I hate to say it, what they're doing is they're capitalizing on Hollywood and Hollywood themes. What does that mean? Hollywood is very, very liberal, incredibly liberal. All right. And so if you're going to make a show like this and it's going to be politicized, guess what it's going to be? Oh, all the people who are liberal are the heroes, and all the people who are very conservative are all the heinous villains, right? And that's literally how the show is being written. And to me, it's like, if I review this, especially right now, what's going to end up happening is people are going to probably get upset. You know what I'm saying? Really? Like, I think that people are going to be upset. They'll be like, oh, well, he's saying political stuff. Well, I actually wouldn't be. The show is, right? So I'm actually nervous, honestly, about reviewing the show. When the show is literally trying to turn the main villain, Homelander, into Donald Trump. Like, they're trying to convert him into that kind of a character, right? And when you've got, oh, look, far-right extremist groups with conspiracy theories and shit, they're the villains. They're the heinous villains. And it's like, you know me, I'm middle of the road. I see both sides for what they really are. I don't think that either the left or the right in the United States is always correct. I think that sometimes one is and the other is. I wish that they would come together and compromise to actually help the people rather than only caring about themselves and their own ideologies, which is really what it is. It's like two schoolyard groups of kids who hate each other, just like going at each other and trying to fucking prank each other and make each other, miserable, instead of saying, hey, well, if we all work together, we could actually have a good time here. They're not that smart, right? And that's really how it is right now in the United States. And this show 100% is pushing towards the left. And I'm watching the show and I'm like, ugh. So I can review the show. I can tell you what I think, but it's going to piss people off, So I really don't know what to do. Do I review this show or not? Do I go? I don't want to know if I want to go that. I didn't know they were going to go that far, right? And they absolutely positively have, right? So I got to think about it. I'm not doing it soon anyway. If I was going to do this review, it would probably be like Tuesday or Wednesday night. Okay, if I'm going to do it. Because right now I'm already booked. We got Street Fighter tonight. Tomorrow I'm doing Stardew Valley. We got the full React Day on Sunday. And I don't want to break up the gameplay on Monday now. So probably if I was going to do it, earliest I would do this review is like Tuesday night. Okay? And plus that would give people a chance to watch all 3 episodes. There's 3 episodes available on Prime right now. And then I guess 1 is releasing a week moving forward. But I'm thinking about what to do. Let's maybe talk about it over the course of the weekend, right? See, Carlton Jr. says, I think you could do a review without actually sharing political views, even if the content is political. I don't see how. Then it won't be a review. It'll just be a summary, right? Because I have to give an opinion. Like, my opinion on how they're doing this, that's what I have to tell you. And if I tell you that, well, that's why, because of my views, right? I mean, let's be honest. Let me put it this way. If I was ultra conservative, I'd be pissed. If I was ultra liberal, I'd probably love the show. Well, I'm middle of the road, so how do I feel? Well, that's what I want to tell you, but if I tell you, now there's politics in it, right? Right? That's what I mean. Like, So I don't know how to do it without, when the show is so political, how do you review it and remove the politics? You can't. That's the, like, the show is very political. So I got to think about it. All right? Really, I got to think about it and figure out if it's even worth doing this week or not. Because the thing is, if I review either Tuesday or Wednesday night, if I do this review, that takes away either a Stardew Valley or a Street Fighter stream, which are two things people want. People love the Stardew Valley stream I did the other day. They want more. And people want more Street Fighter because I'm not playing enough to even get good. So now taking those away, you know what I mean? Like, well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to come out in a full-body Homelander suit when I do my review. We'll see how people react to that. Right? Anyway. But that's, see, I disagree. See, Davhan says reviews should be non-biased. Your reviews don't have to factor in if the show is well made or not. Listen, is anyone going to deny that the show is a good, well-made show? The show's very well made. It's got very high production values. It's got great acting, right? The effects are quite good. Like, no one's going to argue that. The problem is the content of the show, right? That's what people want to know. And if I criticize either way, I'm a heinous villain, right? How dare you, Phil, not agree with the politics that I have, because we all know that it's either I'm right and you're wrong, my way or the highway, black and white in America. There's no in between. It's either you're one way or the other way. It started getting heavy this season. Are you kidding me? This is one of the most heavy political shows I think I've ever seen in my life. And it really wasn't like, when the show started, was there politics in it? Yes. But it almost felt like it was like a lampooning of both sides. Now, this season, they've gone 100% the one way. It's so strongly the one way. It's like, oh my God. Now one side's the villain and one side's the hero. And it wasn't like that before. Anyway, so let's talk about it over the weekend. Let's try to figure it out. And if I do review it, it'll probably be, like I said, either Tuesday or Wednesday night. And it'll be like I did with the Fallout show, where I'll do a stream at night. In the first hour, I'll talk about what happened in these 3 episodes, summarize it, and then kind of give you my feelings about the plot and where it's going and stuff like that. And then for the second hour, we'll have an open, interactive stream where we talk back and forth about all the different themes and things like that. Like, for example, with the Fallout show, we talked about, now, how is this going to affect the plot of the games? And what do you think about this or that? Because now we have more information based on the show, which is supposedly canon. What do you think about the lore things they changed in the show? Was the show woke? If it is woke, or if it isn't woke, is that okay? Like, those are the themes we talked about, and it worked well for that live review. So I think we could do a very similar thing with this show, especially because we're covering 3 episodes instead of just 1. It's not just 1 episode that came out, but 3. So, well, let's figure it out. All right, let's talk about it over the weekend. We don't have to rush. We got today, tomorrow, Sunday, and Monday to kind of talk about it out, figure it out, and see if I want to do it. I don't have to do it. I'd be very happy to just do Street Fighter 6, Stardew Valley, Street Fighter 6 as the night streams this week. That would be fine with me. I'd be happy, and we have a good week, right? So, there you go. Okay? Let's see. Let's figure it out. Okay. So that was Phil's day off. Now we get to the DSP news, because we do have several news stories to cover today. Nothing crazy, but still some noteworthy stuff to talk about today. Let's do it. We start off with, get this, a version 1.01 patch for the PS4 version of Beyond Good and Evil 20th Anniversary Edition just went up a few minutes ago. Huh? Beyond Good and Evil 20th Anniversary Edition. Yeah. So that actually means it exists, which no one even knew they were making this. Remember Beyond Good and Evil 2, which supposedly they've been making for like a decade and we have no information on? So apparently they remade the original game for modern consoles, but didn't say anything to anyone. But people found it on the back end. They found a patch go live for a game that doesn't exist. It has to exist. Why else would there be a patch? Right? So it hasn't come out yet. But everyone's wondering when it will or what this is going to be. People are like scratching their heads because nothing's been announced. So it obviously does exist, but why are they keeping it such a secret? Really weird. So I guess we'll keep our eyes and ears peeled for that. And what it is, will it be a real, like an actual significant upgrade to the original? Or will it just be a port that just works on modern consoles? Like, who knows, right? I don't know. Mr. Meat says, they patched the old game. It's on Steam since 2003. The 20th anniversary edition has been on Steam since 2003. I didn't know Beyond Good and Evil came out in 1983. Boy, you don't listen, do you? It's a patch that specifically references 20th anniversary edition. You're not smart. Okay, let's continue. This one is so very pertinent, right, to now, because it's something that I just experienced in the last week. Do you remember, back on Monday, I did a co-op stream, well, not co-op, a lobby with Brian, top tier rated over on Twitch, in Street Fighter 6. And we had a great time, and we actually used a voice chat. And the way that we voice chatted was over Discord, but it was a pain to set up. Because the way that you use Discord on PS5 is so silly. There's no app to activate on PS5. You have to open Discord on a different platform, whether it be your phone or whether it be your desktop PC. You have to open a voice chat there. You have to find a hidden menu, and then there's another hidden menu within the hidden menu that you need to just be like touching and dragging and doing weird shit to find it. And that allows you to transfer your existing voice call over to your PS5 in order to use the app. It's so bizarre that they did it that way, okay? Well, guess what? They just updated it, or they're going to update it, where now there'll be an app on PS5, and you can do everything you can do normally on Discord on PS5 without needing to do it from another app on another format. You could do text chat, you could do voice chat, you could do parties and group rooms, all of it. It's all available. It just so happened I decided to start using Discord on PS5 literally like the week before they made it modernized. So it seems moving forward, this will be a lot easier to do for me when I want to do voice chat with people over games and stuff. So there you go. That's coming. And anyone who's been using Discord, it's going to be easier to use on PS5 coming up. Okay? Odd that they didn't have that at launch. Very bizarre. Okay. Last but certainly not least, this is a good one. Hidetaka Miyazaki was interviewed. Do you know who Hidetaka Miyazaki is? No? Well, if you don't, I'll inform you. He is the creative director and person behind all of the Soulsborne games. He basically is the creator of the series, all right? Demon Souls, all the Dark Souls games, Bloodborne, Sekiro, Elden Ring. Maybe some of those ring a bell for you? No? Well, if they don't, then I guess you're not going to be interested in this news story. So he was interviewed. And he basically says, I know for a fact other FromSoft devs want a Bloodborne PC port. If I say that I want one, I'll get into trouble, but it's nothing that I'm opposed to. Obviously, as one of the creators of Bloodborne, my personal, pure, honest opinion is I'd love more players to be able to enjoy it, especially as a game that is now coming of age, one of those games of the past that gets lost on older hardware. I think any game like that, it'd be nice to have an opportunity for more players to be able to experience that and relive this relic of the past. So as far as I'm concerned, that's definitely not something I'm opposed to. So there you have it. The maker of Bloodborne wants to see Bloodborne on PC and likely other platforms, but he's not allowed to say that because they'll get into trouble. All right? Why? Because if you're not aware, Sony owns Bloodborne. It was this weird partnership where Sony exclusively owned the rights to and published and owns Bloodborne, while Miyazaki and his team at FromSoft own all the other games they've ever made, including, you know, Dark Souls and Sekiro and now Elden Ring. So they make the choices with those, but for some reason, Sony dictates all the choices for Bloodborne. And at this point, it's just funny because you read all the threads on social media, and it's like, so ridiculous. Everyone's like, this has to be the absolute biggest case ever of a bag of money being dangled in front of a company, and the company refuses to reach out and take the bag. They just don't want the money. They don't want to port this game and make it new for some reason. They don't even want to remaster it on PlayStation consoles. They just want to sit it and let it stagnate and become outdated and unplayable, which is ludicrous. Why not have this game be updated for modern consoles, right? Like look what they did with Demon Souls. Why can't we do that with Bloodborne, right? I think people would love that. Why not port it to PC? They refuse. Why? What is the deal? Someone actually had this very interesting hypothesis. They said, remember, it was, what was it called? Japan Studio or whatever, I guess is what it was called at the time. And then they disbanded that studio. Maybe when they disbanded Japan Studio, they very idiotically misplaced the source code. Like, maybe they just don't have the source code for the game anymore. So they're like, well, fuck it. Right? But then again, I don't believe that, because I'm pretty sure someone could reverse engineer the source code. Like, we have the game, we have the software. I'm sure they could probably reverse engineer it and still get it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not like it's, no one can play it or anything. In my opinion, I don't know. It's just, I will agree with this sentiment. It doesn't make sense. Everyone loves Bloodborne, correct? I do too. I think it's an insanely good game. I don't understand why they refuse to make either a sequel or port the existing game, upgrade the existing game, remaster it. Everyone would go for that. I mean, you know what everyone really wants? Bloodborne in 60 frames. Because Bloodborne is a game that's based on reactions. The parry system with the guns, you need to react right away. If the game was 60 frames, you'd be able to parry even better. More stuff would actually be possible. But people took the game and tried to run it at 60 frames, and it doesn't work. The core game was engineered for 30 frames. If it runs at 60, the timing of the game gets thrown off, and the whole game fucks up. So they would need to re-engineer the game to run at 60 frames. Some effort would actually have to be put into it. So why don't they do that? I mean, can anyone think of a legit reason? I can't, right? I can't think of a reason why they wouldn't do this when everyone wants it, including me. I would fucking replay it for sure. With better graphics and fucking better frame rate and everything. I would love that. I just don't understand it. So, I don't know what else to say. I hope that they change their minds. But Miyazaki is in the same boat as everyone else. We all want Bloodborne. And they just refuse to do it. Carlton Jr. says Sony's been porting to PC for a while, but forcing people to use PSN to do so. Wouldn't be surprised if Sony put Bloodborne in a similar package. But what you're talking about is that... Oop, I pushed the wrong thing. What you're talking about is that when they're porting these games to PC, they're forcing people to have PlayStation Network accounts and log into them, which is really silly. Like, why would they do that? I agree with you. But, you know. All right. So that's the news, guys. It is time for shout-outs. Thank you guys for being a good audience for the first chunky portion. Oh, by the way, let's briefly talk about the schedule. Today it's Fallout 4, more Far Harbor DLC on the first stream. I hope you'll stick around, have some chill fun. Tonight, Street Fighter 6, either Lily or Zangief will do a little bit of casual play, and we will do ranked play tonight. Tomorrow, more Fallout 4, because we're trying to get as much Fallout 4 in as possible before the new releases hit. Tomorrow night, Stardew Valley Session 2. Last time when we played it the other night, it went really well. People seem to really enjoy it. I'm down for continuing it as a late night chill stream, so let's play it again on Saturday night. Sunday is React Day, so DSP versus the Internet Clip Show on DSP React on the first stream. Retro replay of Rise of Nightmares continuing on the DSP Throwback channel on the late stream. Monday, more Fallout 4, and Monday night, Street Fighter 6 ranked. Again, if I don't play Lily or Geef, whoever I didn't use, I'll use them Monday night. Tuesday, the premiere of Still Wakes the Deep, the new survival horror game on Game Pass. Can't wait to try that out. And then Tuesday night is either going to be Stardew Valley or possibly this live review of The Boys Season 4, first 3 episodes. And then Wednesday will be more Still Wakes the Deep, and could be Stardew Valley, could be Street Fighter, could be the review. It all depends on what you guys want. That's why we got to talk about this review over the weekend. Okay? The way I see it, everything's in demand. People want Stardew, people want Street Fighter, and people want this review. So I don't know what to do. That's why we got to figure this out. Okay? Now, excuse me. Next week, when I start on Friday, it's Bloodborne. Bloodborne. Oh my god, I got Bloodborne on the brain. It's Elden Ring all day. I'm getting the Shadow of the Erdtree DLC. It releases that Friday, the 21st. I'm playing it all day next Friday. Literally both streams. So we'll have 5 to 6 hours of Elden Ring, Shadow of the Erdtree that Friday. Then it's going to be the daytime stream for gameplay for that week, with the exception being React Day. Night streams will be varied between other content. Probably I'll balance Street Fighter with Stardew Valley. We may even give Fallout like a week's break before we go back to it. Also, keep in mind, I'll be playing Still Wakes the Deep. I don't know how long it is, so maybe we'll squeeze that in too, but I think people are going to probably want Elden Ring like every day. I wouldn't be surprised if that's the case, if you guys want it that much, and I'm okay with that. However, guess what? On Wednesday the 26th is M. Bison in Street Fighter 6. So obviously we got to do that. So what we might do is Elden Ring all day Friday, Elden Ring and something like Street Fighter Saturday, React Sunday, Elden Ring and something like Stardew Valley Monday, Elden Ring and maybe Street Fighter or something else Tuesday, and then Wednesday, Bison and Street Fighter 6 all day. So that'll give Elden Ring a break, I guess, right? So it's going to be wild, okay? It's going to be wild. All right. Here we go. That's the schedule. All right, shout-outs. We have a lot of shout-outs to do. So we start off with, my nose itches. We start off with Michael, who did a super chat, and thank you for checking out the stream. However, I do not address any kind of toxic behavior or trolling, so that's why I'm going to ignore the rest of your message. I know you're not trolling. I'm just saying I don't address it. I don't entertain it at all. It's a waste of everyone's time to do so. I just completely ignore it. Thank you for the first super chat of the day. Lucky Gremlin, 1 year as an Ultra supporter. It's crazy. It's been a year of fun and sweaty Street Fighter 6 gameplay. I respect your opinion on Street Fighter and other fighting games. I felt Lies of P was your best playthrough of last year. Here's to another chill and fun year. I definitely think Lies of P was one of the best games of last year and definitely one of the best playthroughs of last year. I will 100% agree with you there. Okay. And then Lucky Gremlin gifted 20 memberships to the channel. What a huge way to start the day. Thank you so much for that. So, congratulations to the following people. Magoo, Primitive Coco, Chemical Goods, Rebecca, Mia Hysteria, Walter Moss, Carlos Maciel, Hybrid, Escanor Sin of Pride, Average YouTube Enjoyer, SSJ4 Hazardous, Dank Spectre, Toasty, Big Willie 54, Jeff, Teal Bomber, OID, David D, Redudelude, and Aaron is Buddha. Congrats, and congrats. And be sure to thank Lucky Gremlin for that. And then Mountain Dew 64 also did a super chat. Let's get that up on the leaderboard. Sweet. Thank you, guys. I don't know how 64 ties in with Mountain Dew. I don't remember there ever being a Mountain Dew 64 video game on the N64. I wonder what the name actually means, or if it's just something they pulled out of their butt for an online moniker, which I wouldn't be surprised because that's how I got Darkside Phil. I didn't put much thought into it. Okay. Here we go. Hold on. All right, tips. First of all, yesterday during my day off, I received a $5 tip from the Blimp. He says, I hope you're having a great day off. Well, at the time that he sent that tip, no exaggeration, I was having a miserable day. I really was. I was, running around doing errands by myself because my wife was not feeling well, right? And then on top of that, I was eating incredibly spicy food and getting sick. So I was not feeling well yesterday. So, I did enjoy sitting down and relaxing with my wife eventually and watching her play some Destiny 2 and then watching some BattleBots. That was fun. But outside of that, it was a pretty frustrating day. But I appreciate the support when I'm not even here. And by the way, guys, yes, if you do tip on my day off, I will always shout that out on the next stream, unless you decide that you don't want it and you say in your message, hey, just, no shout out required. I'll respect that. But thank you to the Blimp for the very first piece of support. I received a $5 tip this morning. From an anonymous tipper saying, I'm not much of a Fallout 4 fan, but I still want to show some support today. Thank you very much. I appreciate that very, very much. Cool. I received another $5 tip. This one. Listen to this. Listen to this $5 tip. This is great. Wow, Phil is apologizing. He's admitting it's his fault for his Street Fighter losses. Now he's saying things that are positive about Destiny 2. And all this is happening in one podcast. Whatever was in that spicy food, I think you need more. Well, if I eat any more, I probably won't be here anymore because I'll be emptying my insides out into a porcelain bowl. So I don't think that's a good idea. But as I've said, I am willing to admit my mistakes when I'm wrong. All right? The netcode of Street Fighter 6 is the best fighting game netcode ever made. And now that I've eliminated the input delay via extreme methods, but I did, the game is amazing online. So it has nothing to do with the netcode, and I was wrong for a whole year about the netcode. I 100% was. I'm willing to admit it. The rollback netcode is fine. And if that netcode could be implemented in every single fighting game moving forward, it would just make every fighting game better. And the fighting game community who like this netcode, since they're using extreme methods to eliminate input lag, like playing on PC and stuff, which I haven't been doing, now I get it. Like, see what I mean? Like, I didn't have the experience they did. So I'm thinking it's the netcode. It's not. It's this fucking input delay. So I was wrong. I was absolutely wrong. Rollback netcode is good, and I was incorrect. And again, my mistakes are me fucking up, and I need to get better by playing more, and that's my problem, is I don't play enough right now. I know that. I know that people I'm playing now at this level in Street Fighter are playing way more than me, and they know the matchups, and they've got the muscle memory down, and I don't. I'm fucking up, and it's disappointing because I want to do better, but I'm not, and that's what drives me nuts is, man, I know I can do better. I know I can learn. I know I can get better at this game. And as for Destiny 2, again, I'm honest. At launch, that game was terrible. That game was really bad at launch. It was boring, and it didn't even look that good or run that well. It was 30 frames, and not that entertaining on PS4. On modern consoles now, this thing is gorgeous and has content. I would say it's worth playing now. So there you go. Okay. It's funny that people are, like, amazed. Like, do you not understand that, like, this has been me for a while? Right? I am learning. All right. I received a $3 tip from Kirkland. No disrespect. I don't see you finishing Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I hit chapter 11. I am 80 hours in. This game just won't end. I still have 3 more chapters to go. Some of your viewers are spoiled, entitled, and want action all the time. So I don't see Rebirth making it in your 2024 Game of the Year countdown. I mean, can I be honest? I think that Rebirth would have worked if it were the one featured lengthy RPG for the first half of the year, right? If there weren't Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, which came out in late January, and then Final Fantasy, but then there was Dragon's Dogma. Oh, by the way, Persona 3 Reload came out. Oh, by the way, there was a Grand Blue Fantasy Versus game. Oh, by the way, there was this one. I mean, there's other ones that have come out that I haven't even talked about. Super Mario, The Thousand Year Door. We're not even talking about those games, right? Like, I'm pretending like they don't exist. That was the problem. It's not that the game is bad. It's that for what it is, there's too much of the same competition around. And when that happens, it doesn't feel special anymore. It feels like a drop, again, in a sea of RPGs. Right? And that's a problem. If it were the one standout, insanely lengthy RPG for that whole few months, then it would have been like, wow, it's variety for my streams. Instead, it was like, he's already playing Like a Dragon, but now this one's out, and now there's another one out, and now there's another one out. They're all this, they're too long. There's too much of the same style of game. Even though there are differences, it is true. They're just too long. These experiences need to be unique. And they're not anymore when there's so many of them at once. You see what I'm saying? It's not the game. It's the genre. The genre used to have, maybe you'd have 5 huge, awesome RPGs in a year. Now you have like 27. So when there's 27 RPGs to choose from, it diminishes the impact. It does, Baldur's Gate 3, 140 hours. Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth was what, like 60, 70 hours? How did you expect that my audience was also going to like Final Fantasy VII? I don't blame them. I said in January, RPG overload. I outright said it. This is coming. This is going to be a problem. And I 100% hit it on the head, was correct all about it. And then what's hilarious about that, too, is that everyone told me I was wrong. And then sales numbers start hitting for all these RPGs, and they're all under expectations, right? Almost all of them. It was like the first few, like a Dragon did good, Persona did good. And then all of a sudden, they start to taper off. Every other game that came out after, it's like sales are down, sales are down. What happened? Too much of the same. You cannot release all of the same style of game within 3 months. It will never work. Again, imagine if Street Fighter 6, Mortal Kombat 1, and Tekken 8 all came out within 2 months. They would have completely cannibalized each other. And that would have been the end. None of them would have sold well. You can't do it. But these game companies think that they're, oh, our game's the biggest one, so it's not going to be affected, and they're all affected. That's what happens, man. Okay. Really? I'm being told that The Boys moving forward is actually doing 3 episodes a week. How many episodes are in the season? Usually the season is not that long. So it's only going to be 3 weeks then? No, I feel like if I review it, it should be 3 episode chunks. People don't want to wait a whole month for me to review the thing, right? Michael did another super chat. It's a big one. And he says, I commend you for running a tight ship. I apologize for unintended disrespect. There is no unintended disrespect. Don't worry. I'm not offended in any way. My best to you, your wife, and the channel from here on. Thank you very much, Michael. I appreciate that. And then probably a bear did a super chat. Blink 3 times if Capcom is behind the camera holding you hostage. No. No. I keep telling you guys, I have absolutely nothing to benefit from slamming a game or praising a game, right? It doesn't matter if I like or hate a game. I'm never going to get anything from any company, right? First of all, I can't lose my job or lose a sponsorship because I don't have anything like that. I'm just an independent dude. So I can say whatever I want about anything without any kind of limitations. That's a good thing, right? I can completely be transparent with all of you, right? And I love that. I love that about me and my job. A lot of people can't do that. They have to kiss butt or say, it's either kiss butt or say nothing. They can't actually be honest because, oh man, I criticized. Now I'm not going to get, like, for example, oh man, can't criticize Street Fighter 6 because I won't get Akuma and Bison early and be able to talk about it and make exclusive videos and make big bank off of it. Which is literally what's happening with content creators right now. They have him Bison like now, and they're making content with him. Why the fuck did they get selected to be special snowflakes? Because they're coddlers. They're coddled by Capcom, right? And so they kick Capcom's butt constantly, and they get all this stuff. I don't know why anyone would watch any content from them. I mean, 100% that's a fucking shill. I would never watch that shit. But that's how the community is in Street Fighter. It's pretty sad. But that's what I mean. Like, I can say whatever I want, and I'm not going to have to worry about, oh, I lost something. On the flip side of that, if I kiss a company's butt, I'm not going to get anything out of it either, right? Just because I say, oh, Capcom's netcode is outstanding, best netcode in the business, Capcom's not going to suddenly contact me and be like, oh, we want you to be in that special community now. It's never going to happen, right? So, yeah. No worries there. No, there's no Capcom influencing me or anything like that. Oh, and just for the record, this is hilarious. So I had my stream on Wednesday night, the Street Fighter stream. And then I was off yesterday. I come back this morning. Apparently, there's a detractor meme about steaks. I just want you to think about this. There's a detractor meme about steaks. These people are so fucking boring and bored with their lives that they actually made a running meme about steaks that they've been talking about for a day and a half constantly. I don't care. What the fuck are you talking about? No adult would care about your dumb meme about steaks. Like, what the fuck are you? What they do is they will micro-analyze a tiny moment of a stream that happened and act like it's a full-blown 4-alarm fire. It's like, what are you talking about? You want to know what happened? So I'm playing Street Fighter 6 and I was very frustrated because I was losing with Dalsim, and I'm trying to wrap my head around, why am I losing with Dalsim? And I look at the chat and here's what's going on. There's like 3 or 4 people who are actually excited and engaged with Street Fighter and trying to talk about it, and it's being lost in a drowning of fucking discussion about people talking about steaks and barbecue, right? So I was like, I'll ignore it for a while, and I did. I literally ignored it and kept playing for like another half an hour. And then when I turned back, literally the entire stream chat was just talking about steaks and barbecue food. And I'm like, guys, this is my fucking Street Fighter stream. If you're here for other things, you're in the wrong spot. I know for a fact there's people who want to talk about Street Fighter, and they literally can't because you're derailing the stream, which is against the rules. It's always been against the rules of my streams to try to derail and talk off topic. You guys do the same thing with the sports stuff. Because again, it's another running meme. People won't let you talk about sports in a stream chat. That's not true. But if you derail my entire stream chat about sports discussion, you know I don't watch sports, you know I don't play sports, you know I know nothing about competitive sports or any of the athletes, so why would you come to the DSPGaming chat and do that and derail it and talk about sports? You're an idiot. You're derailing the chat, you're asking for problems, right? So these people were literally doing exactly the same thing during the Street Fighter stream. 100%. They do it on, it was done on purpose. This wasn't like, oh, it just spontaneously happened. These are people coming in here. And by the way, a bunch of the accounts were sock accounts. It was the same person talking to themselves. Because they think I'm stupid. They don't know that I know all of their sock accounts always. I know it's the same guy in here with like 10 accounts. He's a fucking loser. Sits on a Discord talking about it and shit too. But anyway, so it was them purposefully trying to derail my Street Fighter stream. And it was actually pissing people off. Like, they were like, they wanted to talk about Street Fighter, and they couldn't. Like, why is no one here talking about Street Fighter on a fucking Street Fighter stream? People talk about stakes and shit. So I laid down the law about it and said, stop. And then fucking, what's his name? Friendly Gremlin gave me lip back. He's like, oh, well, this stream's like boring. There's nothing to talk about. I was like, dude, what the fuck are you doing on a fighting game stream then? If you don't like fighting games, go somewhere else to talk about something else, right? Like, what the fuck? Do you go into a meeting about a book club talking about this week's book and say, wow, I hate books? No, stupid. And that's what I mean. People think that my streams sometimes are just some kind of place to go in and just, oh, let's just talk about hanging out about other shit. Like, dude, that's so disrespectful to the streamer to just go into someone else's chat and let's just completely derail it with a topic that has nothing to do with what's going on the stream. That's disrespectful. That's going into a place of business and completely derailing the business. Don't do it. It's against the rules. It always has been. It's one thing if there's a natural discussion, but if the streamer says something, hey man, stop, and you keep doing it, you're a fucking asshole and you're liable like everyone else to get moderated. All right? And by the way, this whole thing I'm talking about, we have now just spent more time on this by like 10 times than what happened on the stream. The stream was literally, people are talking about steak. Okay, I'm going to keep playing the game. So I play for another half hour. I turn back and I see people upset because they can't talk about Street Fighter because everyone's talking about steak. And I lay down the law. It was like 1 minute. And then fucking stupid Friendly Gremlin gave me a lip. And I gave him back and said, stop. Don't disrespect me on my stream. And that was it. It was over. It was like 60 seconds. But this is the meme for a day and a half. Why would you even entertain that? The moment that some moron says steak explosion on DSP stream, you say, do not recommend on YouTube ever. This is the dumbest fucking thing I've ever heard. And you move on. Like literally 60 seconds out of a fucking 2.5 hour Dalsim stream is somehow the focus of the stream. No, it's not. Only if you're a fucking mouth-drooling moron would you think that that was important. You have to be the most boring, idiotic, mind-numbingly dumb person to think that a 60-second moment talking about don't derail my fucking stream chat about steaks has anything to do with reality or what was going on in that stream. Don't lower yourself to the level of the idiot who wants to waste your time to make money, because that's what they're doing. They're making clickbait sensationalist videos to try to get your attention so that you'll waste your time thinking that actually was a big deal. It wasn't. No one cared. Right? At all. It doesn't even make sense what you're saying. That wasn't the focus of the stream. It wasn't a big deal. You're just idiotic. If you buy into that stuff, you're really dumb. You have to stop buying into nonsense like that. Okay? Okay. Yes, and again, how moronic that you would, your friend Brian reacted to it. Yes, because you morons went to his chat and harassed him for a day about it so that he would react to the clip and acting like it's a big deal when it's not a big deal. You are fucking idiots. Every one of you who entertains this shit is a fucking moron. I don't care. This has nothing to do with me. This is you in your weird fantasy world where you hyper-focus on arbitrary things that happen and act like it's a big deal. No adult cares about you or your thoughts on this shit. Okay? No one. I will continue to run my streams as I see fit. The rules will still stay in place. People will not derail, and you can fuck off if you don't like it. Wham! Now go make your videos about it, bitch. Because that's all you're going to do. Make more stupid videos for dumbasses. Right? Fuck off. Who cares? Stop fucking bothering me with nonsense, right? You're so dumb. Just, wow. Just think about that. A day and a half, that's what you were thinking about and talking about. Here I am having real life, going on, stressed out, trying to get stuff done on my day off. You're talking about steaks. You're an idiot. You're a fucking idiot. Okay. All right. I received a $3 tip From Super Snow Carl Turbo HD Remix. Huh? I think they were saying stakes. You said there's no stake in Street Fighter when you're playing ranked. Are you kidding? That's what it... That makes it even worse. You understand that makes it even worse? So, I said there's no stakes in playing ranked Street Fighter, meaning there's no real risk or reward for it. It's just, again, it's just arbitrary gameplay. It doesn't matter how many points you have. It doesn't mean anything. And these idiots tried to use wordplay semantics to make a brainless meme out of it. You actually can't... I didn't know that. You actually couldn't actually do something dumber than that, I don't think. That might actually be the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Like... And I didn't know that. I had no idea that's what that chat was about. I didn't know that. All I know is I'm trying to play Street Fighter, and absolutely the entire chat's derailed by a bunch of fucking clone accounts. It was the same guy with like 5, 6 accounts, and a few other people who were jumping in on the bandwagon of trying to be stupid and dramatic about nothing. Right? How stupid, man. Yikes. Anyway, well, thank you for clearing that up. And by the way, again, don't worry about that shit. It's a one-off dumb thing. Sadly, what I would have to do, because here's the thing, because people are like, well, if you didn't say anything during the stream and maybe you just moderated, it would have been fine. Do I really want to just start moderating people, blanket moderating? Oh, by the way, Avarice, I didn't click on your name. I have no idea why I just did that. I tried to moderate that troll above you there. And Avarice, it kicked you out, and I'm sorry. I just tried to unban you. Hopefully it fixed. I was trying to get to this stupid Derek clone account, and I clicked on Avarice by accident. I'm sorry, Avarice. I think my chat is delayed. Let me refresh my chat. I certainly don't want to accidentally ban people. That was messed up. Sorry about that. Really? There is an AI chat summary now? What the hell is this? People are discussing a streamer's supposed ban of the word stake in chat due to a misunderstanding with the viewer and the streamer's perception that there were multiple viewers trolling him with the word. It disappeared. I was reading it and the summary disappeared. What is that? That's interesting. It's actually going to summarize. Is it when you refresh chat? Let me try that again. Everyone refresh your chat and see if that shows up for you. The chat is divided over a meme involving stakes. Some believe DSP is being trolled while others defend him. A rogue ban from DSP accidentally caught an innocent viewer in the crossfire. When did this start? It's gone now. It only shows up for like 10 seconds and then it goes away. What the hell is this? It's not mobile. I'm on my desktop and it's showing me that. The chat is divided over the meme. All right, it's talking about this. All right. Everyone in chat start talking about the AI summary right now. Everyone just say, well, talk about the AI summary, and let's see if the AI summary actually summarizes that. It doesn't show up on the mobile app yet. That is weird. I didn't approve that. There was no option to enable or approve that. That's something they just implemented this morning. What's up, Game Boy? How are you? Let me refresh again. This is fascinating stuff. Refresh again. This could be the whole stream. The chat is discussing... Nah, see, now it's not updating. Now it just keeps saying the chat is discussing the me with stakes. A rogue ban from DSP accidentally caught an innocent viewer in the crossfire. It's not updating to the AI discussion. Maybe AI is programmed to not talk about itself. Did you think about that? If we all just keep talking about the chat AI summary, it can't talk about itself? What the fuck? This is weird. It's been there for a few weeks. It's never loaded for me until right now. It has never once shown in my chat until today, this morning. The problem is it goes away too fast. Let me try something. So if I refresh again, what if I hover over it? All right. Viewers are discussing an AI summary feature on YouTube Live that summarizes chat conversations and how it is both entertaining and accurate. Wait a minute. Did anyone say it was entertaining or accurate? Hold on a second here. Did it just compliment itself? Yo, the chat AI just literally just fucking fluffed itself. Yo, it fluffed itself. Are you kidding me? Who said that? We didn't say that. What is going on? how it is both entertaining and accurate. When did we say that? That's hilarious. It's like, yeah, summarize myself so well. Oh, yeah, extra good summary today. It's becoming self-aware. It's absolutely becoming self-aware. What is going on right now, dude? This is wild. Viewers are entertained and react to the AI summary feature. Some think it's accurate. Others find it amusing. It also receives both praise and criticism. Oh, it did update. It did update to say it also was getting criticism. Huh. Well, this is a weird day, man. This is one of the weirdest podcasts ever. So, okay, so let's summarize. I publicly admit that I was wrong about Street Fighter 6's netcode, and I apologized for it and admitted that my shortcomings are my own, and that's why I'm losing now. But I'm happy to know that. I say Destiny 2 is actually pretty good now, right? I crushed the bullshit steak meme by both the mouth-drooling morons from the last day. And we have fucking AI in chat. What is going on? What? Dude. This is weird. What a weird day. Right? What an odd day. Oh. You don't see it on your desktop? If you refresh the stream chat, it shows up at the very top of the chat for like 20 seconds, then it goes away. Others are skeptical about its potential to take over and become too advanced. Who said that? AI thinks... The AI thinks it's taking over and becoming too advanced. Can only I see the AI? I don't know. I'm in my stream chat. It's popped out, okay? And when I hit refresh, a summary shows up at the top of the screen, but it only stays for like 10 seconds, and then it goes away. And I don't think there's a way to make it, like, stick. You can see it maximum turbo. To be clear, I'm on desktop version of YouTube, and this is the chat that's popped out on my dashboard. I don't know if that's different than the chat you guys see on the main page or not. What browser am I using? I use Chrome for this channel. Avarice, you were not in the way of my ban. There was a Derek impersonator above you, and I went up, and I clicked his name and said ban, and then I guess it scrolled to you, but I had already clicked on Derek. It was very odd, but I was able to undo it right away, and I'm sorry for that. It does show up on desktop Firefox. Is it only showing on desktop right now? Maybe they're beta testing it in desktop versions, perhaps. I like the idea that if you just join a stream in progress, it'll tell you what's going on in the chat. I do like that idea, but again, what's going to happen when you get a stream where people are like derailing and stuff, right? Because imagine that. Imagine if I was playing Street Fighter 6 with Dalsim, and the whole stream chat is derailing and talking about steak on purpose, right? And so I'm playing, and you join. Oh, stream chatters are really enjoying a discussion about Wagyu beef. You're like, what the fuck? I thought this was a fucking Dalsim stream. Like, what is this? Right? I don't know, man. So no one is seeing it on mobile. Okay. I'm addicted to it now. Now I keep hitting reload to see what it says next. Jordan, the streamer, talks about receiving a ban notification for a viewer named Lilica while watching a throwback stream. Meanwhile, chat discusses the possibility of AI-related problem and its impacts on DSPGaming. What? Jordan, the streamer. Jordan, did you know that you're a streamer? According to the AI chat, you are. That's what it just said. It says that you are the streamer. I guess Jordan is the streamer. Well, Jordan, if this is your stream, I might as well take a break. You could take over for me, Jordan. I'll see you in a few minutes. Jordan, the streamer. All right. I'm out of here. I'm out of here. Jordan took over, man. The AI said it, so the AI must be right. I'm out of here, dude. What is happening right now? That's pretty funny. It was completely wrong. It thinks Jordan's running the stream. People are discussing the AI on the stream, whether or not it will impact the channel in a negative way. The general consensus is it may have the potential to cause problems in the future. It says auto-generated experiment and quality may vary. It actually says that on the summary. It's an experiment. Every once in a while today, we totally have to refresh chat and see what it says now. 5049ers talk, I'm glad you're enjoying Vice City Stories. I don't remember the playthrough that well, though. AI is pretending to be wrong so you don't think it's self-aware, says Steak Sandwich. It's so smart, it pretends to be a flawed human that we'll never suspect when it takes everything over. Well, guys, you know what's going to... If one day my stream turns on and Jordan is sitting here, you know what's happened. The AI did me in. And it flew Jordan out here, and now he's running, taking stuff over, man. That was wild. Jordan the streamer. Who would think that Jordan was the streamer? What? Here we go. The AI is mistakenly identifying one of the chatters, Jordan, as the streamer DSPGaming. There you go. It just says it now. This is great. What's up, X-Shooter? How you doing? Fascinating stuff. For the record, I did not enable it. This is YouTube must have done it by default. I did not enable any AI chat summaries or anything like that. This is not an option anywhere to my knowledge. Here, I'll take a quick look. Did they actually add this into, like, options anywhere? Let me see. Allow automatic chapters. Allow automatic placement. Allow automatic concept. Oh, concepts may automatically appear in the description of your video. I didn't even know that existed. Okay, that's new. Comments on. Show how many viewers like the stream. Yeah, I don't see it. I don't see anything about this. It looks like something they just turned on, and there is no way for you to disable it if you don't like it. You're stuck with it. Wow. Yeah, this is what YouTube does all the time. I'm not kidding. YouTube just does things like this. We'll just change a whole fucking thing that you use every day and not tell you that we changed it. We'll just do this or do that, and they flip a switch, and you're fucked. You just got to live with the repercussions of their actions and figure out how this affects your business. Do I have human legs, or am I like Alf underneath the camera? Oh, no, I have tiny stubby legs. You're correct. Absolutely right. There you go. DSPGaming Jordan in parentheses was being impersonated on multiple accounts, and his viewers responded by suggesting he make an AI bot to respond on his behalf. What? Now it thinks that I'm Jordan again. It said DSPGaming Jordan in parentheses. My name is not Jordan. You stupid bot. You stupid AI done. Just slap it around. Give it some oil. Here, have some oil, stupid. How dumb. Apparently, I'm Jordan. Jordan in chat says, well, I'm the streamer. I want to play Stardew Valley. Well, I guess we just got to change the whole stream to Stardew Valley, guys, because Jordan's the streamer. Sorry about that. What the hell is going on with this? This bot is stupid. Yeah, Jordan, I have no idea. He says, why did the AI pick me of all people? I have no clue. Wow. Well, we're gonna have some new memes now. Now I'm Jordan, apparently. Jordan's a nice name, though. I like that name, Jordan. There's been a few good Jordan. Michael Jordan. You know, Jordan's a good name, so good choice, but sadly, I'm Phil. Darn. Fascinating. Rush fan, how you doing? What did you miss? We are laughing at the AI bot that summarizes chat and is summarizing it half the time incorrectly. It apparently just launched this morning on my channel, and we keep refreshing the stream chat to look at what it says next. Let's see what it says next. People are discussing the recent Apple update, which will feature artificial intelligence, how it might affect their lives and livelihoods. The chat is discussing streamer DSPGaming. Some people jokingly suggesting his real name is Jordan, and he should change it to Darkside Jordan. There you go. Well, guys, we do have to finish. Sadly, we do have to finish the podcast. This has been a wild ending. I certainly wasn't expecting that it was going to go in this direction with an AI summary. Thank you to those who are hanging out. Thank you to those who have supported so far already. Really appreciate that. Chill Fallout 4 vibes as we continue with Far Harbor today. We're exploring the island right now. We have a mission to do, and then after that, we'll probably get to the main plot line unless another side mission opens up. But Darziak says it's a US thing. Is it? You don't see it? It could, very well could be experimental only in certain areas, because I'm seeing it constantly. Whenever I hit refresh on the popped out stream chat, I wonder if it happens here on my dashboard. Hold on. So I hit refresh on the dashboard. Yes, it shows up in my dashboard chat. It's right there, so I can see it there. See, I don't watch my streams from the same page you guys do. I'm actually watching from my dashboard, from the broadcaster's dashboard, and it's there for sure. Lucky Gremlin, you have a nice day. Thank you so much for the support this morning. Carlton Jr. says, I'm on a Mac. I don't see it. If it pulls it up on my Windows computer later when I'm not using it, maybe it's Windows only. I'm also using Chrome browser. Maybe it's Chrome only. It does say right on it, it's an experiment. It doesn't even say it's a feature. It's just an experiment they're running. Okay, let's adjourn. Let's get set up for Fallout, everyone. Thank you, guys. What a podcast. That was a packed one. A lot of good stuff. Appreciate you all. And I will see you tomorrow. Of course, tomorrow we'll talk about how all the gameplay went. If the AI chat took over my stream, if Jordan took over my stream, I guess. We'll find out tomorrow. All right, thank you. Thank you all. See you then. What the heck?